Hi, everyone. Welcome to Merch Money. Today we have Blake with us from Merch Campus.
Yay.
So excited. Welcome.
Thanks for being here, Blake.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we've been wanting him on the show for a while. There was like a little bit of schedule conflicts, and then eventually it all worked out. We're so happy to have him here. And Bree and Amy had a very busy day, so I'm happy they were able to make it today. So we usually just go around real quick, introduce ourselves, and just say something that we're excited about that's going on this week. I guess I'll go first. I'm Helen Kinson, merch boss. I am so excited about the Merch Wizard update. That's like my big thing for the day. Like, I was out when it came out on Sunday. I was out with my husband and my stepson, and as soon as I got home, I immediately like went and tried it out. It was awesome. So that's what I've been working on today.
Awesome.
What about you, Bree?
Which quick question with the Merch Wizard? Do we have to like update the extension or anything? I caught the video real quick, which looks awesome.
Yeah, there was a couple of updates, but the main one is that now it's very, very easy to relist anything that falls off. So hopefully you guys pushed everything to Merch Wizard before like all the UK and Germany and everything came down. Because it makes it, this relister thing makes it so easy to just really quickly relist it again. It doesn't take long at all.
It's funny because like it wasn't easy enough, right? It got even better.
I know. We were trying to figure out like what is the big thing going to be, because it was so easy, but it's
awesome.
It makes it even easier because there's like a little button like right next to it, and you can relist several at the same time. Like, it's not a bulk relister. It opens tabs, so you have to go one at a time with the tabs. But it's kind of like the bulk edit for the pricing, except it's bulk edit for relisting. So it's really good. Yeah.
I realized I had photo bombers over here, whatever you want to call them. I was checking it out. Which, Helen, you look gorgeous tonight. You look
thank you.
Very dressed up.
I know.
It's a hoodie.
It's a simple black shirt, but then I put this necklace, and I'm like, oh, it looks like a
it does. It totally looks. It looks like you're going to like a cocktail party. It looks really pretty.
Thank you.
So I'm Brianna Moller Greene. I am co-owner of DesignForDollars.com and also known as Merch Maverick here on Merch Money. Just a crazy week as usual, doing my thing like I always do, which nobody could quite figure out where I am and what I'm doing half the time. Geez, what the heck happened this week? I mean, today we just kind of like laid low. Poor Luna was sick. And so I was home with her and I wasn't feeling good. So I took a nap not too long ago.
I can't imagine you ever sick. Like this, I think this is the first time you've ever been sick since I've known you.
And listen, I can't even call in sick. I can't do it. I gotta be here.
Oh, that one time you lost your voice. I remember now. You lost your voice on one of the shows.
Oh, and I showed up anyway, and it was like squeak, squeak, squeak. I can't miss it. I look forward to doing this with you guys every week. So, but you know, just doing the usual. Brandability's going well. We're about at midpoint with the people that you know, joined in the beta crew, and so that means we're like doing full on Shopify build outs, which also means that I've got, you know, shiny ball syndrome like crazy because I'm looking at my brands and I'm like, I need to fix this. I need to make this look better. I don't like that, you know, so.
Isn't that what's so great about like teaching people? Then you're like, oh, I need to do this.
Yes. I'm like, you know, there are a couple of little design techniques, for instance, that Erin has been, you know, showing all of us. And I'm like, you know, I still don't want to give up these elements in my website that I like, but like, you know, I don't know. It's just fun to hear everyone's perspective about what converts. And so, yeah, that's like the big stuff I think that I've really been focusing on in the last week here.
Awesome.
My merch account's a little behind. We won't talk about that one. But now that I have the Merch Wizard update, I'll get cracking at it.
Oh yeah, you'll go so fast. It'll be insane. I can just foresee you messaging Amy and I and being like, "Oh wow, I just uploaded all 600 today."
Oh, I've been up every morning. I cannot sleep in, so I'm up at like 4 every morning, and that's what I'll do. I'll just like I can do 50 pretty quick. So
yeah,
I think I'm at 400 uploads a day, maybe. So we'll see. We'll see what I can do.
Perfect.
Amy.
Yeah.
So hi everybody, this is Amy Springer, known as Merch Marvel here on Merch Money, and it's been a pretty good week. I've been branching out more on Redbubble, just because I like the atmosphere there. Like I enjoy how you can communicate with other people, and they like comment on your stuff, and you comment on theirs, and it's just kind of this neat, like, I don't know, camaraderie or whatever. Aside from that, just been doing the KDP thing, and Merch Wizard is amazing. I've been relisting all day today. I think I'm up to like 200 right now. So I'm really glad that I continue to push things out, because I kind of figured they were eventually going to come up with something like that, because there was like little hints about it. So I'm kind of glad I followed my heart and gut on that. And other than that, just been chasing my minions around all day, and it's been a Monday. So short and sweet, to the point, but yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a lot though. You made it sound like it was like a short week, but that was a lot you did.
Well, it's like kind of having like a workflow in place that's been working well for me, because I know like certain designs I want to put on KDP, so I'll get it up there, and then it's like, well, I have it right here. I might as well just go ahead and put them on Redbubble too. And it's just been working. So once I get that down, I'll probably add another print on demand platform. So
awesome. You're amazing. That is so cool.
Thanks.
All right, Blake, thank you so much for being here. You want to introduce yourself?
Happy to be here. Yeah, sure. And also want to point out that how great is it that we have like all these like merch tools and softwares that are doing all these things that Merch like, never updates their original platform.
Yes. Yes. Could not agree more. Big shout out to Rick and Emily, who's in the chat.
Yeah.
And Phil and Laureen. You guys are all awesome.
And I'm not sure what's up with the KDP, what's it called? The Bolt, the book box, the one that Neil put out.
Oh, the Book Bolt.
Book Bolt.
That's supposed to be releasing in like just a few days, right?
Okay. Because you're putting your stuff on KDP just on your own, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's Book Bolt? What is that?
Okay, I'm assuming it's like the Merch Informer answer to KDP. So I believe it's going to be helping with like research and stuff. But knowing Neil, I mean, it could be more than that even. I have no idea, but I'm excited. I can't wait.
When's that come out?
Last I knew it was like what, like 6 days now? It's down to 6. Hang on, I can look. There's like a countdown on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all very intriguing. And it looks like it's gonna help you like very easily just put what designs you have from merch just onto like book covers.
Awesome.
Which is pretty great.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to all these developers. Yeah, so
yeah, really.
For me, my name is Blake, and happy to be here with all of you. I have a YouTube channel called Merch Campus, which I just kind of wanted a place to put out stuff that I've learned since starting merch. This was in like 2017, like June-ish, summer. And what this week has kind of been pretty chill, but I'm looking forward to going to Europe tomorrow. So that's
exciting!
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm going there for I'm going to the Netherlands, and I'm going to see a friend there. Nice. And then, of course, just travel because I've never really been to Amsterdam and stuff like that. So should be good.
Cool. That'll be a great trip. So fun.
I remember back in my high school days, I always dreamed of going to Amsterdam. Have some fun.
Have to go in a suitcase.
Blake, where are you located?
I'm based in Connecticut right now.
Okay.
Oh, Connecticut. Speaking of Connecticut, Reagan Prophet's in the chat. Hey, Reagan. He's in Connecticut, too.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Hi, Steve.
And Steve just bought a house. So congratulations, Steve, on your new
Where's
property.
the chat?
Oh, if you, let's see, how can we send? Well, you could just, I'll put it in the message for you.
Okay, thanks.
Somebody else keep the conversation going. I can't do it if I'm doing this.
Well, why don't we see, do we have any other, we might have a couple of comments or questions here. Let's see.
We should just shout out everybody that's watching.
Yeah, let's see. We've got Steve, Emily, Teresa. Let's see here.
Okay, I sent it to you, Blake.
And then also, and then maybe, Blake, why don't you tell us a little bit more just about, I don't know, you. Like, I really don't know very much about you, your background and, you know.
Amazing YouTube channel. We know that.
I'm like the, hey, what's your deal, Blake? No, I just love to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm very happy to share. So like, basically, the way I like to think of like my merch journey was I was working in New York in restaurants, and it can be quite a grind, and not very. What's the word? It's like people are like beating themselves to the ground, and they're not getting paid very well. It's pretty rough. So anyway, I was like, there's got to be a way to make money online. I see all these people doing it, so that kind of began the journey, and then I signed up for merch. I think I found it on Udemy, the Chris Greene course. And then I just kind of forgot about it because it's like, it'll take a while. And then about 6 months later, I get an acceptance email, which was perfect because I was working here in Connecticut in a restaurant and I had nothing else really going on. So I was like, wow, this is cool. Even though I'm working like long shifts at the restaurant, since I have nothing else going on, might as well dig into this. And it kind of, you know, the rush of kind of learning something new and then just reading. I think I read like Neil Lassen's blog just so many times, and like the girlfriend case study so many times because like it was clearly working for her. I was like, I just need to like internalize this blueprint. And then eventually it started to pick up, and the curve was really satisfying because like the first month I think I made 2 cents, and then the next month was like 20, and then the next month was like a nice jump, so it was like 800, and then over 1,000, and then like in December it was like nearly 14,000, and so it was like a nice curve. And then ever since then, it's kind of been pretty steady. And I've been very grateful for a lot of the freedom and cash flow that merch has brought me.
So awesome. Well, there's so much we could talk to you about because your YouTube channel is amazing, and you've covered so many different categories, so many different things, everything from like keywords to research to everything. So we were thinking, partly because we had a Q&A last week that was fun, and then there was people that wrote more questions on that video and questions in the Facebook group. So I was thinking we could do a little bit of like a Q&A style type thing today.
Okay.
I have to chime in really quick, Blake. I love your the thumbnails on all of your YouTube videos.
Yes.
I'm like ashamed of mine.
Yes.
I roll through and I'm like, oh, I love them. They're just it's, you know, it just stands out.
That's a good. Well, how do you make them? Let's start with that.
Oh, I just throw vectors together in Photoshop, pretty much, and then just find kind of fonts that pop. Because I think like, you know, there's some really cool, like the perfect example is like Merch Informer. So Merch Informer has probably like some of the most substantive, like information-based channel, but like the thumbnails are so boring. Like it's just a clip of like Merch Informer, and oftentimes I don't know. I like to make something that kind of like is striking and people like want to click into it. And like I like some pretty funny clickbaity one is like secret keyword trick and it's like a ninja and stuff like that. So more for like the click-throughs.
Yeah.
I like it. That's exactly what I like though too, because it jumps right out. If you guys hit Blake's YouTube channel and you go down through, it jumps right out what you're going to be getting into when you watch the video. It's great.
I think it's linked in the description. It's supposed to be. If it's not, let me know and I'll link it after the show. But I meant to. I'm pretty sure it's there. But yeah, that's something that, oh my gosh, I need to work on that so much. Most of the time I don't do thumbnails at all.
You know what I do just if I get lazy and I didn't do it ahead of time, I just use is it the TubeBuddy?
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's something, right? And then you know, obviously you should be prepared going in and have these ready, but you know, crap happens. But yeah, I just go through in TubeBuddy. I just use the TubeBuddy subscription, and then I'll just like, you know, draw a little box and put a little text in there. There you go. There's a thumbnail.
All right, we'll see. I'll try to jump on board.
It's
about that.
It's just one of those things too, where it's like one little step that if you could just add it into your workflow,
yeah,
you know. But it's so hard. It's just that
so
one
hard.
step.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll get there one of these days.
TubeBuddy is good. I subscribed to it when my channel was pretty small, so like a few hundred subscribers.
Yeah.
And so they had an option where like if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, it's like $4 and something a month, and that's remained no matter like how many subs I have now, which is pretty nice. And so like if you have a small channel and you want to kind of get into all the kind of analytical and TubeBuddy stuff, it's pretty good if you're thinking about it. Yeah.
That, and the other thing I liked about it was the kind of like the crash course you get in keywords for YouTube for someone that is maybe just getting started over there. So you don't always want, if someone doesn't know how to, you know, do like the SEO, it was a real easy tool to just kind of say, hey, whoa, okay, keywords don't need to be one word or two words. Sometimes they're a string of words that, you know, so.
Definitely. I have so many tags. So like, I think I took a course on YouTube SEO. Of course, all of this is like Amazon SEO. You can learn it from like Google SEO, like old school Google SEO. And so like YouTube SEO is kind of the same concept. So like generally the title is probably, you know, the most important thing. So you want to put the most important like keyword string to the front of the title, and then you can kind of elaborate long tail. And then you put in like description and tag. Like the more times you repeat it, like with relevancy, it's just going to rank higher. And I think like it's also like when you put out a YouTube video, the really cool thing about it, it's very different to like Facebook and stuff. Like it stays up there.
Yes.
And, like, people search for it, like it grows in views. Whereas with like the Facebook and Instagram newsfeed, it kind of gets.
It just goes away. Yeah. No, YouTube's awesome.
I also like too,
because even when you do it like me, where it's like just nothing, it still grows. I mean, there's still more views. It's still, so it can only get better if I do better with
using those SEO strategies. I'm like obsessed with this right now, thinking about the fact that you can actually rank well on the first page of Google, because a lot of times that first spot is filled in with YouTube videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually obsessed with that too. It's funny you say that.
Isn't Google and YouTube connected somehow?
YouTube.
Yeah.
They do, right? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Even advertisement wise.
Yeah. YouTube ad rev goes to Google.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
So my brother's getting into SEO, and I was like always like a formal SEO position, like at a marketing agency.
Wow.
And I was like always telling him like most people are not doing this. Like you can just rank YouTube videos so much more easier than like websites, because websites sometimes take months to rank the keywords, and YouTube videos will go up like in a week or a day. And so like you said, it takes up a pretty substantial slot in the Google like page. So like it's such a good hack to like rank for a specific. So now I think anyway, So I totally
that's such a good skill that like for everybody watching, start a YouTube channel, learn SEO.
Yeah, and when you think about it, YouTube channel could be applicable to anything. Like I know that I get the question all the time from people outside of our quote merch ecom world. There's absolutely like it doesn't, if you have a brick and mortar or you're a physician even, there's always a way that YouTube channel can educate, you know, and provide content
or entertainment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Totally.
Or just documenting your journey. So weight loss, whatever, anything.
That's really good. And let me just make one last point around that.
Yeah.
I was thinking if anyone is thinking about kind of like starting a new venture, I really recommend just if you could just kind of document it a little bit, because every video that is sharing something that you have to figure out is saving someone else time. And so they're going to like, they're going to look at that. And so for me, like when I found a great keyword to a website, sharing it in a video is going to save someone else the hassle. And all of a sudden you become valuable to them and they want to watch you. And then Exactly. That's
and I was gonna say, and then we learn in turn, because there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh my gosh, I watched that. That was awesome. Check out this tool too. This one's another free one." And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, you know,
totally.
because especially you can't know every single tool and piece of software that's out there. There's just as we speak, there are new ones launching. You know, so it's fun to get that from viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me hit you with some questions that we've gotten. We can all answer these. They're just on our videos and on our YouTube channels, and some of them were directly for Blake, but we can all answer.
Yeah.
So the first question is from Stephen Chagnat, I think he said. He has two questions. He said, if you find a niche that is completely devoid of products, but you know it will sell, even if you wait until that first sale as a proof of concept, do you like to flood that niche with multiple designs to prevent one design from shooting up to the bestsellers rank? I am out of slots and one of my shirts started selling well, which bumped my seller rank on that shirt pretty high. And sure enough, copycats are coming in now.
Okay, so the specific question is, I know
it's long.
No, they have limited slots, right?
Yeah, they have limited slots, but I think he wants to know, like, if you don't have limited slots, is it better to do a whole bunch so that you don't have one shirt that does really well, because he's worried about copycats?
Yeah, I definitely would say that if you have a shirt that's selling, and like he's saying, like that person, whoever it is saying, like that shirt is selling, now they're copycats. So it's such a proof of concept. So like join that shirt with tons of other shirts. But more interestingly, I think, is prior to the first sale, which is kind of what they were implying, is like, there's no shirts there. Should I immediately flood it? I would say not really. Maybe put up 5 shirts in the thing. Like for me, I had a niche. It was like, I like to take cold showers. Okay. And I was like, wow, there are no cold shower shirts on Amazon.
Oh, wow. That's a big one. I didn't even.
Yeah. So it's like kind of integrating things that you kind of already are interested in. So then I put up a shirt on Amazon around cold showers, and it sold within a few days. And so and then I was like, okay, cool, proof of concept, throw up other shirts. And so I feel like that's probably a good way to go about it. Like, don't make it a big issue that, like, you don't even know if it's selling. So just throw up a couple and see what happens, I would say.
Also, I think it also might help with the search algorithm and with consumers when you have several shirts within a niche, because then it's, there are more potential chances that they're going to buy from you, and you seem somewhat knowledgeable in, tennis or whatever. If you have 10 related shirts and they're all, however you brand it, whether it's a, keyword brand or a regular brand, I don't know. I think that helps to support you and not the copycats that you don't need to worry about in that case. Or I don't.
What do you, Helen and Amy, think?
I agree with you. If it's a niche that doesn't really have a lot of stuff in it, I would throw probably 3 to 5 shirts up, and if they start selling, then yeah, I'm gonna go all in. So, but that's just proven to work for me and some of the niches that I'm more passionate about. So I agree with you on that.
I agree too. I did not used to do that because I've only recently started designing my own shirts. So before that, I was buying designs, and they would be a wide range all over the place, all different designs. So what I'm doing now is following that strategy, but I'm also going back to all the shirts that have sold in the past from all my different niches and making some variations and trying to make some designs related to the ones that sell well.
That's cool.
So I'm kind of doing it a little delayed, but but yes.
That's funny because I'm kind of doing that too. I'm kind of looking at the backlog and just kind of, especially now that I can easily check out the analytics, and it's like, okay, I should probably throw some more stuff up there, and I'll like research the niches and go, okay, there's still room here. So I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Awesome. That's good that you're researching. See, I'm missing that step. I'm just like, oh, this sold a lot. Let me throw up a couple more shirts. I probably should like do a little research.
And by researching, I'm just going on Amazon, just typing it in. I'm not going like deep in it. I just want to see what's there.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, though, and I think that's a really good strategy to throw out there for anyone that's new to merch is that, and Helen, you can vouch for this in the Amazon FBA world with our replens, right? So, like, you have shirts and things that didn't sell. Like, I have thousands, right? Like, I could potentially not have any more designs done and be busy for a really long time, just reworking, relaunching. It's incredible. Don't think they're garbage because they didn't sell. Don't think that. You could have launched it in the wrong season. You could have launched it in a time in which everybody was on that trend and now nobody is. And so many people don't take that extra step. They don't look at their old data. They keep getting new and getting new.
And you
getting
also
new.
maybe didn't know SEO at all. Like a lot of mine, I'm like, whoa, what was I thinking? Like there isn't a keyword in this title at all.
This actually happened to me today. I was doing the relister and I was relisting something and I looked at the keywords and I was like, I need to like butter that up a little bit. And I tell you, as soon as it went live, one sold. And I was just like, okay, it fell off. Nobody saw it. Nobody wanted it. And then I relist it and somebody takes it. All I did was just tweak the words around a little bit.
The other thing that happens to me a lot is that even if the t-shirt doesn't sell again, if you put it on some of the other products, it really is less competition on a lot of the other products. And especially if it's like a category that most people wouldn't really associate necessarily with like sweatshirts or hoodies. I don't know. Those always end up selling for me.
There's one that I think I've mentioned before. One or two shirts that I have that were from like early 2016, right? They were done to death. They were very simple text. I resurrected the files. They weren't on long sleeve shirts and hoodies. And so these things were like saturated beyond belief, but nobody went back a year later or whatever it was and used the files on those other products, and it still sells.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, awesome. He had a second question. Hold on, let me see. Second question is, has anyone been stuck at a tier when you should have been leveled up by now? I am well over 30 sales and still stuck at tier 25.
Yeah, it just kind of goes on their schedule. We're not real sure when it goes through. Sometimes there's pauses in the tier up. We're not privy to every single little piece or when during the month or during the year they do it. So on average, I mean, I think you should be getting a tier up soon, but we just kind of wait and be patient.
It'll happen. Don't worry.
Also, I don't know how many slots are full or are filled. It like helped with me whenever my slots were full.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I think I remember this person was saying that they were full, and that's kind of why they're like, what's going on? I need more slots.
Yeah. And I always just recommend just upload it as drafts. Like don't slow your flow down. Just keep uploading. And then as soon as you get tiered up, just put them all live.
See, that's something I wish I had done in the beginning, was to just continue just putting things into drafts, because that would have saved me so much time.
I did a video on it because that's all I did. I mean, Brianna I was ordering from VA Rental, so they would just come once a week and I would always upload them regardless of whether I had slots or not. And so it's just like a nice little flow.
There's a great tool for drafts. It's called Merch Buddy. And they have this really cool button where it's like, once you
just go to the end.
Draft, it just goes, you click it and it goes straight to the submit page. That's so nice.
I love that. Yeah, I use that like crazy. So yeah, Merch Buddy, it goes to the end, and it also helps when you're uploading to premium, long sleeve, all of that, because you can just hit copy paste, and you can also switch out. Like there's a button to switch out t-shirt to all the other words like sweatshirt and everything. So yep, super fast. That's another thing I did. So a lot of people, they don't put it on everything at first. A lot of people do the strategy of like wait and see if the t-shirt sells, and then if the t-shirt sells, go back and put it on all the other products. For me, I was like, that's too much like back and forth. Like I just want to get it all out right away because I'm never going to go back. It's just never going to.
You must have had the slots then, because I think for a lot of people, it's like when you're in the tier 100, tier 500, you're still kind of like constrained. So you would probably prioritize t-shirt But I totally agree with you now. Like especially this year, when they kind of restructured all the royalties.
Yeah.
Like now when a hoodie sells, it's like a great payday. Like I make over $10 for a sale. It's like so nice.
Yeah.
I had a 2-banger in hoodies the other day, and I was just like, oh, look at that, $21.78 or something ridiculous. I was like, that is cool.
Yeah.
I'm all about the hoodies right now. I want all the hoodies. $10.
I have a question for you guys. Just a random one because I've been playing around with it within my niche with the hoodies. Do you guys do back design, front design, both, or do you mix it up? What do you guys, excuse me, what do you do with that?
I just do front. I haven't messed with anything, just the front.
Yeah.
I have one local merch that I'm working with. I haven't like proactively gone after it, but one kind of came to me and they wanted designs on the back. So I do designs on the back for them.
I'm testing that right now. And that's why I was asking.
Yeah, I did designs on the back for them. And I did designs on the back one time for a shirt I made. I made it for my sister, I think. So other than that, like I normally don't.
What do you guys, well, Helen, I guess, what are you envisioning for the front? So I've been playing with it 2 ways: a blank front with nothing, and then almost a copy of it on the front, or a small version of it, or like a logo.
I did all of the above. So what I did is I made, I think it's like 30 different, I did a lot of variations because they wanted everything. They have a store basically. So they want these in their store. So I did all different variations and they want it to be private so that it's just like, I don't know how they're doing it. So it's not like live. I mean, it is live, but it's a private link. Sure. But I use Merch Wizard to generate the store so that now they have a link that they can click and it shows all of their shirts. I love that. It's so nice. Awesome. Yeah, for anyone who hasn't used it, or even if you have a friend that wants you to make a design for them or something, and you're making more than one, you can just put it all together in a link and say generate store, and it's very, very helpful. So for the hoodies, for the t-shirts, anything that had a back, I did one where it was like the name of the store across, like all the way across, and then I did one where it was like a pocket design.
Cool. Yeah. I've been I was like looking at some of my designs, and some of them I'm thinking, what the heck? I kind of feel like it didn't even make sense on the front of a shirt. I'm like, why did I put this on the front? Yeah. So that's kind of what, like, that was the impetus behind, let's try it on the back and see how it goes.
Yeah, well, some people still want it on the front because that's what we were thinking. Like when I was talking to the person at the store, is that we were thinking it would look better on the back. And then some of the customers requested it on the front. So I actually made another, so there's like 3 of each.
That's cool though, yeah.
But they wanted it on the front. So
why not, right? With the power of what we can do with the platform.
It's so easy, it seems like, I had to make 5 more products, but it's like click, 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 like it's fine. So, Old Time Radio Archive said the listing isn't obvious enough about showing front and back to the customer. People don't know that it's double-sided. And I kind of agree with that. Like, if it's a store, it's different. Like they're able to explain it, or they're able to have one on display or something like that so customers know. But if you're just making them just to sell on Amazon, it's a little tricky.
The one cool thing you can do is if you are out doing pod in other marketplaces and are using a production partner like Printtech or Gooten or whoever. Wait, does Gooten go to Amazon? I think they do now. No, maybe they don't. However, if you're using a production partner on Amazon, you can create mock-ups over on Amazon and put them on Amazon Seller Central that are going to show the sweatshirt on someone, like with a back and a front in one.
Yes. So another great thing is to do either a Pinterest ad or Facebook ad or whatever you're using for ads, and show like a mock-up of somebody showing the front and the back. I've done that before. Well, I haven't done that for the front and back, but I did that when it's like a couple's shirt. When you need to show something that's harder to show just on the listing, Pinterest really helps for that. And I totally forgot I actually ran a Pinterest ad on one of them and I forgot about it, but I was like, why do I keep getting so many sales? I'm like, that really must have like done a good job of like people naturally sharing it. And I finally realized, and I was like, well, at least I know the ads work.
Which, and that's another thing too, we could briefly talk about. Are you guys running all of your ads for merch? Or do you not run any?
I used to, and it was really good actually. I like lumped all my best sellers into just one campaign.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. But
oh, that's interesting. So you did you just say you put them all in one campaign?
Yeah, I just like all the proven sellers I had that were good, consistent sellers, like, you know, they would sell every few days or whatever. I just put them in one campaign, and it just kind of like accelerated that.
That's exactly what I do, and then I do a niche campaign too. So I do one where I choose and I target, and I'm really researching, you know, the keywords and all that, and then I do a bestsellers as well, and then I pay attention to the conversion and then crank it up on the ones that it's converting well, and then turn it off on the ones where it's not converting well.
But do you do like individual each shirt, or do you like do it all together?
I do, like, it sounds like Blake and I do the same way. Like, I literally just have bestsellers campaign for one of the campaigns, and everything is just like, boop, boop, boop. It might like be one about a spider and one about a dog, and
so I was curious about that because I've heard mixed things. So you guys think that works fine to do it that way?
I mean, you can set up several campaigns. So like I would set up several. I like to have a couple of different things going on, because then what I'm able to do is, you know, you can compare the data. I like to see, you know, what does Amazon do when everything's automatic versus, you know, what's it look like when I'm plugging in the keywords, and then I just keep comparing the results and turning things off and on.
With the automatic campaign, I felt like it needed to be shirts like within the same niche if they're in that same campaign, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
It worked for me. I think the way it draws the keywords is it's just
from the listing.
Scans the listing, and then it kind of generates what it assumes, and that's why it's kind of important that you actually have a good listing if you're going to run.
I think that's my problem. I don't think I do a good enough listing. Like SEO is just like not my thing, and that's like the worst thing to not be your thing, because you need SEO for YouTube, you need it for shirts, you need it for everything. So when I do automatic, it's usually like spends too much or it's not that good. So, and I'm like, well, that's because my listing's not good enough.
Are you doing it on like proven sellers? Because that was the difference for me.
Yeah, that's true.
I pepper in both too, Helen. So what you could do is start with your bestsellers, and then I throw in some new ones and gather data. What I was going to tell you is when you run your report at the end, you can see, like, you know, you could see your conversion rate for each of those, even though they're not all within the same niche and the same keywords, and you can see what that person typed in to get to it.
Yeah. Well,
and then you're not, and sometimes it's like, oh, that's not even the keyword I was using, but they still hit my listing because maybe I had one little piece of it and it converted. And so what I can do now is go back in and say, hey, everybody's using this same string over and over again, and I don't have it in my listing. So I'm going to go back in there.
Yeah.
Make them even better.
That's what I need to do. In the beginning, I was only doing my bestsellers, and it was before the what was that thing called? Where all the listings had that problem. Cyber Monday, before the Cyber Monday thing. So I had it on listings that had been there for a long time, and it was like perfect. Like it was like 5% ACOS or something. Like it was ridiculous. Like it was so good. Oh. And then it was set, you know, it was around that time. So I was trying to add in a lot more shirts and stuff because I just wanted to boost it on everything. So I started doing ads on shirts that hadn't sold yet, and I kept running those ads on those shirts that used to sell really well, and then they lost their ranking. So then it started costing a little more to boost them. And anyway, my ACOS went up, but now it's kind of like I'm working back down to get it back down. But it's all trial and error. We'll see.
Yeah, I think people often will undervalue what an ad can do for a shirt, because if you just get a couple sales on it, like Amazon will really like tilt in your favor after that to serve it to customers.
Yes.
It's strange. I've seen that a lot. So I would say if you have it, like really, you know, try it just to boost some shirts, because then
have you tried the UK or Germany one yet?
The ads for those?
Yeah.
No, and I'll be honest, I've been super like inactive in those two markets.
Yes. So I think that is something. They are having a webinar on the 13th, everybody, I think. So a reminder about that. It was one of the dashboard updates. I'm pretty sure it's the 13th.
Yes, I saw that.
So we all need to watch that. I sat down the day it came out or the next day, and I went to go set it up, and it didn't work right away. Like I must have done something wrong, and I never went back. So I have to like sit down and just set that up. But I'll probably watch the webinar and just set it up as I'm watching that.
I think it's worth noting, because I go to Europe sometimes. Like I was born in France. And it's really not as prevalent there, Amazon, as it is here.
Right.
So it's like a double stack, because it's pretty consumer culture here in America. We like to buy stuff, but also Amazon is everywhere. And so, so in Europe, people buy less stuff, but then also they don't really know Amazon that much. So it's like a huge growing opportunity. But
yes, I mean, there's two ways you could look at it. You could look at it like, oh, it's not good there, but I think I mean, Starbucks was able to have coffee in China and have it grow. Like it's big there. And now there's a whole nother competitor that came, and nobody in China drank coffee at all. And so it's like, you know, things change. Just because it's not like that right this second doesn't mean it won't be. And so many people talk about 2015 was this like big time in merch and everything. And I'm like, do you understand? This is like 2013 in Europe. Like this is early. If we can get the shirts up there, it's like you're early. And I think it'll just I think Amazon will pick up speed in Europe.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of the most amazing print-on-demand marketplaces outside of Amazon are based in Europe.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it will continue to, like you said, just gather momentum.
Yeah. It was interesting when I was in the UK. Like people were not excited about it, so I wasn't sure like what the like how everybody would be thinking about it in UK, but they're still only excited about the US. So I'm like, I feel like it's a huge opportunity. Like it seems like so far there's not a lot of people excited about UK or Germany, even the people who are German. So I don't know. I think it's a huge open opportunity.
I think that's baffling merch as well. Because they work really hard to like launch these marketplaces. And they're like, why is no one excited about this and contributing designs? I think the balance is completely skewed to the US.
Very skewed. And it's weird because it's like at the same time that it's so skewed to the US, you hear everybody complaining about saturation. I'm like, there's literally two wide open marketplaces, like so wide open. But I think people have an idea that that it's just not going to sell there. And I'm like, have you tried? Like, have you looked at the keywords in Europe? Because the American listings that went over there had no like UK words, no German words. Like nobody sat there and looked at the SEO to see like what are those searches.
There's like like the most basic thing is like go to Merch Informer and it pulls keyword data from those specific marketplaces.
Yes.
So it's like I remember one time just to try it out, I pulled it from Germany. I just did like I love, and I saw what came up, and I just made designs for all those keywords. And immediately, like a few of them sold. Because
there you go, guys. That's the nugget of the day. Just do that, because everybody's listings came down. You know, as some people might still have some up, but the vast majority have come down.
That's a good point.
So
I've been losing hundreds a day, I think, lately.
Yeah. So it's there's always two ways to look at things. So.
Well, and there are a few, you know, I'm not going crazy on either of the marketplaces really. And I'm not, you know, for me, I think I would have to just completely like it's almost like starting merch all over again. And so I think that's an amazing opportunity for people. I think you can grow over there, but you got to treat it like you're treating US platform, right? Like you got to put in a little bit of research and design. But what I'm thinking is I'm also taking, some of my best sellers that again maybe like trailed off a bit because of saturation and taking a look and moving them over there. And whether they translate or not, I mean, we'll see. And I know you've probably heard this a lot, but like, for instance, the dog niche has sold really well for me, moving it over to some of the other marketplaces. But I think there's a potential to do amazingly well over there. I just don't think anyone quite has stepped up and really started to like lead the brigade and like research and getting into niches and things that might sell well over there.
I think people are just not thinking long-term enough. Like, I think you're looking at your results and you're like, oh, I sold this shirt once and it's been up for 6 months. Instead of being like, oh, I locked in a spot on page 1 in UK. Yes. And as the business grows in UK and more people start using Amazon, I'm on page 1 for, I mean, not forever, but you have a big head start because your shirt has been listed longer and it's getting, you know, it's going to be easier for you to show up than somebody who loads a shirt 3 years from now.
Let me give you a good example. So I have talked to a couple of people that, and one in particular from Germany that, and this is outside of merch, this example I'm going to give, but it's on Spreadshirt. And so you have what? Spreadshirt US, Spreadshirt Europe. And he has the same designs on both platforms. And Spreadshirt Europe blows Spreadshirt US out of the water for sales because of the saturation. And for every, I want to say for every one, and this was a ratio that used to exist for a while in merch. For every one design, I think he can count on $1 commission. So like, for instance, if you have 1,000 designs on average on Spreadshirt Europe, they're decent designs. If you have 1,000, you can expect 1,000 in commission if you put in the time and start moving designs, you know. And listen, now somebody's going to go do that and say it sucks, but there are several people, and I think it's a powerful example of, you know, what could potentially happen on merch if you've got, you know, one company, Spreadshirt, 2 different platforms. This one's saturated, this one's not. Put the designs on both, and that testing ground has shown that there's still a lot of potential.
Yes.
And same designs, you know.
Yeah. But I think it's only going to grow. But nobody can predict the future. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe it won't. But I just, you know, it just because it's not big there right now, I just don't, I feel like
that's a good time to get in there though, right?
I feel like it's the beginning and it's gonna grow a lot more. I don't think that that Amazon would have started it there if they didn't think there was any demand. So I'm gonna keep working at it. That's all I know.
What could be a cool, I'm actually curious, and maybe we can hear from Amy because she's been a little quiet. So like, where do you think merch is going in the next few years? And also maybe what you would like to see Merch by Amazon release in terms of like new products or functionality?
I would love to see tank tops. I would like mugs too, but I can see that being a headache. I think, you know, merch it's still a baby, and I think that we're in at the right time. I'm not too worried about oversaturation or anything like that. I think as long as you're willing to like get better and do the work and research, like you can do really well. And I think that's true for all the different marketplaces. But I know I would just love to see a ton more products, but also like an easier upload process too. Because I mean, going one by one, especially if they do add more, you know, it can get tedious, but it's worth it. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You wanted to go. What do you think, Blake? What do you think? Where do you think merch is going?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty simple issue that they can solve. Like the idea of like one upload, one design that they just put on all the products at once. And it'll benefit them because they want us to upload on the other products. And the reason we don't is it's so clunky. So like like all the other POD sites do it, you know, it's like Redbubble, right? You put one design up, it's on like 100 products. So I feel like that's probably where we're headed. And you'll probably see like a lot of like bulk editing stuff, which
that's what I'm hoping for.
It's so surprising to me, like 3 years into this thing that you can like edit multiple listings at once. So interesting. And then probably like future, just like tons of products. And then I think also will be interesting, maybe I think like you might have like a t-shirt, like the product page will be a t-shirt, but then you could select different products on that page. So it'd be like, oh, you like the design, but I want it on a hoodie. So rather than have like all these separate like product pages, I think they probably eventually might lump it together. Just like things like that, which would make it easier for us and the consumer. Yeah. And then hopefully tons more products. Because like we only have 5.
So I almost feel bad complaining about, you know, the upload process, because they have given us such a great platform with incredible organic reach. But, you know, that's like number one on my wish list would be just easier uploading for everything. And like Redbubble, where you don't have to have like a million different sizes, like you can if you want, and have the option of selecting a different file, kind of like Redbubble allows you to do. So I don't know, maybe.
I'm always like the big Amazon fan. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But I think that it is going to get really big, because we haven't even gone to Canada. Somebody said that it's not even in Canada yet. It's not in most of the world.
Yeah.
So we still have a lot more marketplaces. We still have a lot more products. We still have like so much more growth. So, and I've seen Amazon grow over the years, and they do a good job. So I'm excited.
I was going to say, I think I agree with everything that you guys are saying too. And that I really do believe that there's going to be more of an effort with the Merch by Amazon platform to make it more conducive for brand building. I really think that ultimately they want to, you know, we've got Merch Collab. You've got you've got brand registry in regular Amazon Seller Central. And I think that I would love to see Merch by Amazon somewhat tied into all of this on the back end, just to support brand building in a more business-esque way, like, you know, simplicity of uploading, making it okay to have employees in your account and really be able to treat it like a business and a brand.
Yes. Oh my God, that'd be so.
Yeah. You know what? So I talked to you guys a little bit about this last week too, but I got the firm numbers on the ecom event in LA for Just One Dime that I'm speaking at, that Seth Kniep holds. I had mentioned that there would be Amazon executives there, and indeed 4 from brand registry, and that's
wow.
never ever happened, and they agreed to a Q&A. So,
oh my God, that's gonna be amazing.
I'm super pumped.
I'm gonna have to think of questions for you.
Yeah, and they're specifically from brand registry. And so that's why that's been on my mind too, because I'd love to ask them, like, is there some potential there to, you know, and I'm sure there is. I mean, that's where all of the other platforms lend themselves to, which, by the way, is another thing. Have you guys ever been able to count the number of platforms there are on Amazon and marketplaces? It's crazy. There are really so many ways to make money on Amazon. Yeah,
so many. We have to have a show about that sometime.
There's some of them that when I went to Amazon headquarters in October, I didn't even know they were departments, and I'm like, I don't even know how you get to that. Where do you get? And
well,
that's
it's
something
like Spark, like Amazon Spark has slid in there somewhere, and there's like all these little things that are. I think
the plans are to tie it all in.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not. You can't go to like, you know, Amazon.com/programs and see like, you know, brand registry and Amazon custom, and you can't see all that in one place. But
yeah, you just gotta scroll down. I've done that. You scroll really far down Amazon.com, and then you just see like tons in the footer, all these strange things.
And you're like, wait, when did this come out? You know, like some of the influencer pages. I've had an influencer page for years before I was even an influencer.
Nice.
Because I found that, like Blake said, scrolling down through, oh, I'm going to apply to this, see what it's about. So it just shows you there's amazing things on Amazon.
So amazing.
Leverage.
Yeah. And it's like, you never know if they're going to take it seriously or not. So that's why I was like a little worried in the beginning, because it was like 2 years and we hadn't had any new products and no new things. Yeah. But now they're starting to roll out more products. Like last year was quite a few new products and platforms. So
I think we're gonna get this year a bulk editing update.
You think so? That's your prediction?
Well, that's my, yeah, fingers crossed. But like, I'm pretty sure they mentioned it at the conference, and that was in September. And then they also mentioned at the conference that they would try to roll out a product at the end of the year, and they didn't. So there'll definitely be like a product as well.
What's your product must have? What do you guys need like right now on merch?
Ah, good question.
You know what else? Okay, with the exception of tank tops, raglan sleeve, like the 3/4 sleeve shirts that are really like the baseball style, like those are really popular.
I love
now.
those. Yes, that would be awesome if we.
Yeah, tank tops.
I just want every product.
I want all the products. They all sell. Yes.
I'm leaning towards at least what I see on a lot of the other pods that are selling for me are mugs, obviously, but I would love to see leggings over there.
Yeah,
I think that would be really I mean, if you look at how many people on Amazon right now have private labeled like and are really getting into leggings and like, I mean, obviously, like it's a huge market.
It's huge. Yeah. All right, guys, couple more questions. I know we're running slow on time, but I've only gone through 2 of them. We have like 6. Okay, one more question from YouTube was, when you publish the same t-shirt on Merch by Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic, and so on, do you share the social media links, social websites on all the links?
I'm not sure. I don't think I do that. Anyone else want to answer?
I'm all organic, if that's what the question's about. Like I'm all organic. I don't run anything. I don't even put anything on Pinterest. I'm terrible. I probably should, but I don't. I don't even run any MS ads.
I have a workflow set up where if no matter what I'm doing, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Pinterest, and it was just something that I had to force into action, when something is created, listed, wherever it is, it gets shared immediately. So, and a lot of times if you pay attention to, like, for instance, if you upload a YouTube video, the share links are there, press up, right? Is that what they were asking about sharing? Yeah. And it is just something that you have to, well, first of all, you have to set up your accounts.
But would you share the same product from merch, from Etsy, from Redbubble, everywhere? Or you just pick one of them?
Oh, yes. I share them all.
You share them all. Okay.
Absolutely.
Even if it's the same exact product?
Even if it's the exact same shirt, you share.
So like you have a cat shirt on merch and a cat shirt on Redbubble, you'll share both links?
Not, well, yes. Like on Pinterest, absolutely. Or I'm trying to think of another example. Not on, like, say, your Instagram page or something. I don't even share all of those links, period, because for that, it's all content-based. And then you're just dropping in links every once in a while. You don't want to overwhelm your audience with links to a bunch of stuff. So sorry. In my head, I'm thinking of search engines versus social media. Search engines like YouTube or something like that, and Pinterest, I'm sharing everything everywhere I can. But
that's very good distinction. So that's the perfect answer. I'm going to agree with you on that. Yeah. If it's a search engine, share everything always, because it's there forever when people are searching. If it's not a search engine, you have to be careful, like,
correct.
You know, be strategic with what you're posting. Perfect.
Can I make it quick?
Yeah.
So if anyone is like, because I'm thinking people in the low tiers, sometimes they get a bit frustrated. I mean, we've all been there. And if you look at like the posts in the merch groups, pretty much all the people who are in like low tiers making sales were like making Valentine's Day sales. And so if you want, like, I would not, if you're in like, 10, 25, maybe even 100, just like, why not focus on the holidays? Because you have tons of organic traffic that come there. And all the people posting results who really have only like, and they're only coming from like 1 or 2 shirts, are not doing like the holidays. So I would definitely recommend, like, just try to get more slots. Why not focus on that? Like, it's like low hanging fruit. That's what I recommend.
And then you can revise your strategy as you move, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just to get you through the tiers.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally agree with that. Yeah. I did not do that. I did all organic, not organic.
Evergreen.
I did.
Thank you. And it was so much slower progression. Like,
me too. It was slow.
Yeah, definitely trends or holidays or things like that. Definitely.
And there's a guy, like, I think Bo Pollard, however you say it. Like he's almost like, as far as I'm aware, like he really just doubles down on like holidays. And that's where he makes the bulk of his, like.
He's very smart about it. Like he will look ahead. So he's not like chasing a holiday that's about to come. Like he'll do research and he'll do it from the year before of like exactly what's selling and everything.
Or when it started to take off.
Yeah, when it starts to take off. Like he's really good with all that.
And that's a perfect example too of an alternate merch strategy where somebody is kicking butt and just doing something different than maybe us, you know, and it works.
Yeah.
He was also just very consistent and uploaded a lot. So
it sounds like he treats it like a business.
Yeah, consistency is good. All right, let's look at these questions on Facebook. Oh, Julie wants to know when you're posting another video. They're not going to let you off the hook.
Right, I've gotten like emails about that as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I've shared pretty much as much as I know about merch. There's always stuff I can always talk about it for a long time because I went through the whole learning process for months. But honestly, as far as I know, it's like not in the foreseeable future. I don't know what else to talk about. You know?
Aw. Well, everybody loves your videos, so if we ever change your mind, you're excellent with it.
I appreciate the views. It's great. Yeah, for sure.
It's funny because you were earlier you were talking about going back and reading the case study on the Merch Informer blog. That's how I am with your YouTube channel. Like I'll just, if I'm like in a slump or something, it's like, all right, I'm gonna throw up Merch Campus and just like binge watch all your videos, and it's been really helpful. So I'm in the camp that I hope you put up some more content too, even if it was like another like over the shoulder or something, because you really do have something amazing to offer the community.
Yeah,
thanks so much. That's great.
You're very good at making the videos, and you're very good at explaining things and creative and all of that. So
well, and that's it. Amy pointed out a really good example too of like, again, if we get viewers that are new to merch that come in and they say, where should I go? How can I learn? I don't have much money to invest right now. Hit up Blake's channel, hit up our channel, just watch videos, listen while you're working. Like
I tell everybody that has messaged me with questions, I'll just like, here's some homework, go watch Merch Campus. Like it's all there.
Yes, and I have posted some of your videos. I do a tip of the day thing, and some of your videos have made it into those tips of the day.
Yeah,
That's when you know you've made the big time.
Tip of the day. Yeah, I mean, I would always recommend people to like, especially when they're starting out, it's like learn as much as you can. Like there's so much stuff. You can just spend hours learning in the beginning. It's totally worth it. Like it'll pay off. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And since you're so good with SEO, you should just like do a video on every single holiday, even if it seems like it's like repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, it'll help your videos show up, and it'll help people because they might not think, like your video about doing the Santa hat on things, like that helped a lot. I hadn't really.
Yeah, I did so many Santa hats, and they all sold. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Yeah, so stuff like that, just like little tips for holidays or little, there's always something. I mean, we've done a show every week, and it's like, I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
Well, and you know what, though?
Brings up new stuff.
I think we forget how many new people are constantly coming into the community, and we talk about it so much that it's second nature. And so it's like, you know, I feel the same way as Blake sometimes. I'm like, how many times can I show this same keyword strategy over and over and over and over and over again? But the reality of it is it's always new to someone.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
always like a slightly different way you say it or something. Like I'll still listen to Grant Cardone or whoever, and they say the same thing every time. Somehow it's slightly different, or I don't know, they're in a different scenario or something. So it's a little bit different. It's still entertaining to listen to, and
oh yeah, I mean, and you're always in a different place every time you listen. So you always kind of pick up a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if you're focused on something else, totally understand. Like we all have different lives and different things going on, but if it's just a matter of
no pressure. After if it's just 6 minutes of us pressuring you.
Yeah, and you can also do like like a collab with somebody, like have a guest on or have somebody, because sometimes it's fun to talk to other people too. Like sometimes that'll give you ideas.
Yeah, I really like what RJ and Matt do.
Uh-huh.
I just think it's so cool. Like they're both like, they seem very dedicated to like sharing what they can to their group.
Yeah,
I think it's super cool. So I think they're both doing really well as well.
Yeah. It's such a good community because it's like there's so many people willing to share, and we all learn from each other, and everybody's been like so nice coming on our show. Like
good people for sure.
Lots of good people. So all right, did we hit all the questions? I think so. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell everybody, or
me?
Yeah, anything you want to share? Anything we didn't cover?
I mean, well, I've definitely been thinking a bit more bigger picture about the journey to, I think what a lot of people are doing is just trying to create like new income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really what it is. Like the first time you hit up merch. I mean, of course, if you're lucky, like Amy's super into design, and that's really great. Not everyone is as into that. They're kind of more technically, they just want to generate income. So I'm thinking like, you know, merch is awesome, and if you can dedicate yourself to it for a few months, please do. But also, like, there's so many ways, like we were just saying before, to like make money. Like Amazon has, like you said, like a gazillion programs, and that's just Amazon. You know?
Yeah, then there's all the other platforms.
Yeah, there's all these other platforms. It doesn't even have to be e-commerce. You know what I mean? So like one thing I would definitely recommend, if you're okay with like talking to like a video or something, it's like if you can document whatever journey you decide to take and help people who are going to go down that road after, you will probably get rewarded in some fashion. So like whether it's a blog or like YouTube, I really like YouTube because it's like sticky and it grows over time. Then you could really make that like a passion, like just share what you're learning, maybe have a link there, which is an affiliate link, and bam, like you have some income. So like to think a bit more open about different ways that you can, you know, bring some freedom to your life. That's what I would probably want to say. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm sorry, there's one more question I totally missed.
Yeah, no, it didn't have to be the closing.
No, but that was a perfect closing.
I know, it was so good.
It was so good. I'm like, I can't ask this question now, but I have to. It's Jessica Ryan, and she wrote like this whole thing. She's so sad she had to miss this show, and she's like, make sure you ask him. I'm like, darn it, I almost did. She said, I hear a ton about building and maintaining systems. It seems like systems are part tool and part self-discipline. I know Merch Wizard has been instrumental in holding me accountable for staying organized and knowing where my designs are without having to upload to a platform I can't control, as well as significantly speeding up my upload process. What tools and practices have led you to your success? What else would you suggest I get as a must-have tool in addition to Merch Wizard?
Wow, it's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like Merch Wizard is helping so many people, and I've actually never used it. So it's really cool that is making a big impact. For me, like I really like to, how can I make things as like, because I'm quite lazy, it's like how do I make it as easy as possible to get the maximum impact? So I guess in terms of a system, in like a micro sense, let's say I'm approaching Halloween, and then I find a phrase that I think would sell. Then like my system would be to hire a VA to make that phrase in like the Merch Informer design tool and bust out like hundreds of variations. And then on my part to create the merch list of profiles, which I would just have to edit the title, tweak the title, so I can upload hundreds of shirts a day. And I know this is much more of kind of like a micro example of what you're asking, because I'm thinking you're more bigger picture. But that's I would definitely, yeah, it's like if you can systematize like certain elements of the merch thing to get huge things, like that's what I did this Halloween. And I uploaded hundreds of shirts just based off like very simple like phrases, and it worked out so well. So like that's, I don't know if that kind of adds anything to your question, but that's kind of how I would approach it.
I think that's great. Does anybody else have any systems or tools that they, well, Brianna's like amazing with a system. She's got a whole spreadsheet and everything's like boom, boom,
well,
boom,
and
boom,
you know what? It was Merch Wizard introducing me to Airtable. And so, of course, I use Merch Wizard for merch, but then I went and created this whole system in Airtable for each of my brands. And so then what I can do is have VA or whoever, it could be a family member, a business partner, pop in there, and everything is in there. I mean, mock-ups, ads, titles, key product features. It's all itemized as to like the products that I want in my Shopify store and in my Etsy store and how much I want them priced, and everything is just, and so they move themselves in the Airtable from left to right. And that is the way in which each of the consecutive tasks are done. And then it's based on designs. So one design, where is that moving through this list of tasks? And then, yeah, so that's how I do it. You could do it with Google Sheets though. I mean, I did that before I knew what Airtable was. That was the easiest way for me to create a system to help myself, whether it was for phrases, whether it was for designs, whether it was for working with an employee. Use those boxes like step 1, 2, and 3. Work it from left to right or from top to bottom.
Awesome. Yeah, and also just staying consistent. So whatever you decide to do, like just try to have some kind of goal every day. So I'm a little not perfect with it right now, but there was a period of time where I just was like, every day I'm uploading this amount of shirts, and it's just like, as long as you just keep doing it every day, it keeps growing. So
make it manageable too, like, and give yourself like an actionable task. Don't say, I'm going to work on merch today. What the heck's that look like? Like, you need to be more specific about what you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. So mine was 20 shirts a day, and now I'm like, why was it only 20? Like, that's like nothing. So I'm trying to do a lot more now. But even I mean, it was consistent, and that was good.
Well, I remember when 20 was insane. Like,
but when you think about it, we probably didn't have a system. Like, I remember uploading, and then I'm literally just typing it in, and I'm optimizing it as I go. Oh, let me open up another tab. Like, I had no organization, like no copy and paste. It was just, I was making it as we were, seeing it in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have come a long way from that.
Yes.
Yeah, I have like a kind of like a core template that I just like, the list of profiles. So you just have like a shortcut and then just fills it out. I basically have a pretty simple one that I use now for like any shirt that I would upload. And it's basically based off a video that Neil Lassen did where he said like how to write your keywords or something. It's like very simple. I think he put it out fairly recent. I don't know how recent, but it's like super good. It's basically everything that I do is like in that video. I also wanted to add, sometimes good sellers fall off the map and you're like, where do they go? And what I've been doing lately is I've just been like tweaking prices. So I'm super lazy. And so many times, like, all that is enough to reset the thing, and then the shirt will start selling again. And
that was one of the videos I shared.
Okay.
I was trying to remember specific videos. I shared that one about changing prices because you were doing that video right around the same time that I was discovering that. And then other people are like, yeah, we've been doing that for a year. And I'm like, oh, I totally missed the boat on that. Like,
surprisingly simple.
It helps a lot. And if you guys have Merch Wizard, that Merch Wizard helps tremendously with that because it'll turn red if you, well, I don't know with the update, but at least as of before the update, it would turn red. It would act like you hadn't pushed it to Airtable, even though you had pushed it to Airtable. If Amazon ever like has your listing come off for some reason, like they'll sometimes, if your shirt hasn't sold for, I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm guessing if your shirt hasn't sold for like a month or two, it'll just come off, like not officially off, but it'll just like not be available to be sold.
Yeah, I was running traffic to one.
Yeah, it just won't be available to be sold. And when you change the price, then it is available to be sold. So that's why it's like, oh, it's working because I'm changing the price. But I used to have to do it just like, I would just change the price for a lot of shirts and have no idea which ones that was helping and which ones it wasn't. But then with Merch Wizard, you can see exactly which ones have been kicked off because it'll turn red. So then I'll just change the prices on the ones that are red and not all the other ones, and it's fine.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've basically been doing that like by niche lately because I've been super lazy. I've just been going back to like niches. So like I'll take like, let's say the elephant niche, and then I'll just like edit the price of every shirt in the elephant niche, and invariably I will sell one of those elephant shirts that day. And then the next day I'll pick.
By the way, Blake, I don't think that's lazy at all, by the way. I think it's smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're like, yo, I'm lazy, I'm like, no, he's efficient. He's figuring out ways to like do business efficiently.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm big into the price. It's so weird that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super weird, but that definitely does help. So thank you for making that video. Thank you for all these tips today.
Yeah.
And for coming on. It's so fun to talk to you.
Yeah, really nice to meet all of you. Thanks for having me. It's definitely been fun.
Huge fan of yours and your channel. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here.
All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up. Not quite as good as Blake's was before. Before I added one more question in there. But thank you guys all for watching today, and we'll see you next Monday.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.